Have you ever noticed that slow, creeping distance growing between you and the person you care about most? So subtle, so quiet, you can't even pinpoint when it began. That's exactly what happened to me. I'd been married barely 2 years, yet it felt like everything was unraveling. My wife, who once lit up every room with her laughter, started to drift away. She became quiet at dinner, seemed lost in thought, and whenever I tried to engage her in conversation, it felt like she was somewhere else entirely. I'd catch her sneaking glances at her phone, quickly locking it whenever I came near. And each time I asked if something was wrong, she'd offer that tiny, forced smile and say, "I'm just tired." But that smile, it didn't feel real anymore. At first, I tried to convince myself it was nothing. Perhaps work was stressful. Perhaps she was dealing with something private. But days stretched into weeks, and the distance between us only grew. I returned home to silence. She used to rush to greet me at the door, eager to share her day. Now, she barely mumbled a hi without looking up. I ate alone, watched TV alone, and lay beside her at night, yet felt a million miles away from her. Then came the paranoia. That nagging little voice in your head, whispering ugly possibilities, began softly at first. Maybe she's just tired. Then darker thoughts crept in. Maybe she's talking to someone else. I tried to dismiss it, told myself I was imagining things, but the unease wouldn't leave. She was distant, distracted, secretive. She kept her phone close, even taking it to the bathroom. Every tiny action set off alarms in my mind. I started replaying past moments, searching for clues. Anything that might explain the change in her. I even checked her social media for signs of someone new. I hated myself for it, but the fear of being replaced was eating me alive. Then, one night, everything reached a boiling point. It was around midnight. I sat on the edge of our bed, pretending to scroll through my phone, while actually watching her out of the corner of my eye. She lay facing away, clutching her phone to her chest. I asked, "Is something wrong? You've been so distant lately." She stayed silent for what felt like forever, then finally said, "I'm fine. Please, can we not talk about it?" No emotion, no comfort, just an icy barrier between us. That night, I lay awake staring at the ceiling, a mix of rage and heartbreak consuming me. My thoughts spiraled. I imagined divorce, fantasized about walking away, escaping the constant confusion and pain. Part of me still loved her deeply, but the part that felt unwanted wanted to quit entirely. Quietly, I began preparing myself. I told myself if she didn't want me anymore, I wouldn't plead. I would leave with dignity. But then, something unexpected happened. A few weeks later, I came home early from work. She didn't hear me enter. As I approached our bedroom, I caught her voice, soft, hushed, barely audible. My chest tightened. My first thought, the someone else I'd imagined. But as I listened closer, I recognized a different tone. Gentle, nervous. She was talking to her mom. And then came the words that froze me. "Mom, I don't know what to do. I'm pregnant." I froze against the wall, my knees weak. She continued, her voice trembling. "I haven't even told him yet. He's been so distant lately, and I'm scared. What if I can't be a good mom? What if he's not ready? We've only been married 2 years. What if this ruins everything?" Her voice cracked. "I don't want to disappoint him. I don't know how to tell him." That's when it hit me. I had been completely wrong. All those nights spent doubting her love, thinking she was drifting away. She was terrified. Not of me, not of someone else. She was scared, scared of motherhood, scared of not being enough, scared of losing me. A wave of guilt slammed into me so hard I could barely breathe. Here I was, questioning her, even contemplating divorce, while she was carrying our child, silently navigating fear and uncertainty, alone. I stayed there a long moment, collecting myself. My heart raced. I wanted to rush in and pour out everything I felt, but I didn't want to frighten her. So, I took a deep breath, knocked softly, and stepped inside. She looked up, startled, eyes wide and red from crying. Her phone slipped from her hand. I heard you, I whispered. For a moment, she froze, then she broke down, burying her face in her hands. I sat beside her, gently pulling her hands away. Hey, I murmured. You should have told me. I was scared, she sobbed. I didn't know how you'd react. I'm scared of being a mother. I don't know if I can do it. I didn't want you to be disappointed in me. I held her hands, feeling all the anger, jealousy, and fear I'd carried dissolve. You're not alone, I told her. We'll face this together. I'm here. Always. She broke down completely, and I held her as her tears soaked my shirt. For the first time in months, she held me back, not distant, not cold, but real, close. That night, we talked for hours. She told me everything, discovering the pregnancy, feeling sick, hiding her fears of motherhood, afraid of letting me down. I confessed how I'd misread her, let my fears twist me into suspicion and bitterness. We apologized over and over. When we finally went to bed, the emptiness was gone. I felt peace because I understood something crucial. Distance between two people isn't always caused by betrayal or lost love. Sometimes it's fear of the future, fear of inadequacy. I almost lost my wife because I stopped believing in her, stopped trusting the bond we had. But that night, I learned love isn't about always understanding everything. It's about staying long enough to try. Now, every time I see her smile or feel our baby kick, I remember that moment. The moment I could have walked away, but didn't. And I'm grateful. Grateful I overheard that conversation. Grateful I had a chance to make things right. Sometimes, the truth doesn't destroy you, it saves you. And the most important lesson I've learned, never assume silence means distance or fear means betrayal. Sometimes, the person you love most just needs you to listen. Truly listen. So they can find the courage to speak.